All right, this is first principle number 2. Say now the equation that's given to you, it's f of x. They can call it g of x, anything they want, equals to, let's say we're having 2x to the power of 3. Usually the power of 3, they don't write many terms because it's too much work to do this calculation. We good now? So let's leave it there because we know how to do with the square. Because after that it will be squared, blah, blah, blah. You know how to do with the squared. I already dealt something with the squared. There it is. I'll be adding these terms after this one here. So there's no need. All right. So now this becomes your equation number 1. We good, ne? Now we need equation 2. Equation 2, you'll say f of, I open the brackets, then I'm having 2. Yes, you know it's x plus h to the power of 3. That's exactly right. Then here I need x plus h. And then here I need x plus h. The problem is to do these brackets here. It's too much work. But I can show you a quicker way of doing it. Because really what you are doing, you're doing this. You are having 2, open the bracket, x plus h, and then x plus h. Isn't it right? Yes. Then another one, x plus h. And then first you'll say, okay, let me work with these 2 first. Nah? And then you keep them in the brackets, isn't it? And then you multiply that later. Oh yeah, which is exactly that. But I'm going to show you the easy way of working with this. Well, while I'm still at it, I'm going to show you if you have x plus, let's put any letter, let's say a. A can be any number. And then you make it to the power of 3. This is how I tell people to do it. I say you must write 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay? 1331. You start with 1. You end with 1. Only the 2 in the middle. Ne? All right. You are using bo plus. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Now, since you have x and a, just write x here and a. Put a plus. The next one, x and a. Put a plus. And then you write x and a. You times them again. Plus. And then you say x, x and a. What you do, you look at the highest power. Highest power, 3, ne? All right. More x by the x and the 3 and the a, you give them the power, meaning the power of x and the power of a. When you add them, always they must equal to that one, the 3. So start with 3. If this is 3, the other one you make it 0. So that 3 plus 0, it's 3. Can you see? Then it's like you're saying 1, 2, 3. That's what you're doing. Or you're saying 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay? Since this is 3, let it go down by 1. Or maybe increase this 0 by 1. It doesn't matter. So this one now becomes what? 2, ne? This one becomes 1. Can you see? Then this becomes 1. Becomes 2. This becomes 0. This becomes 3. Then you've already factorized the thing. So here's how it's going to go. Remember you got 1, ne? It's 1 times x to the 3. 1 times x to the 3, it's x to the 3, ne? Times a to the 0, it's 1, ne? Yes. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So that's what you have, plus. You're having 3, x what? Squared times a to the 1. So which means it's like that. Normally, you'll be writing it as 3, yeah. Usually, you prefer to do it, to write it this way. Yeah, exactly, like 3x, like that, all right. And then plus, the next one, the a squared, ne? So it's 3a squared x. And then the last one, the x to the 0 becomes 1. You just left with a to the power of 3. Exactly that. So now, this one, if you're working with this one here, you know you're going to use 2 after, isn't it right? All right. So you already know it's equals to, you're having the 2, which you're going to use later. In the bracket, you're having 1, 3, 3, 1. You know it, ne? I just told you 1, 3, 3, 1. That's how to do the cube very fast. So I know the first one, it's 1. 1 doesn't matter. So it's 1 times, it's an x and h. So it's 1, x and h. This one takes the 3, this one takes the 0. Then I say plus 3. The other one is x to the 2, x to the 1. And then I've got a 3. The other one it's x to the what? Yeah, to the 1. And then h to the 2, ne? And then plus 1. It will be x to the 0, h to the 3. Isn't it right? Actually, it's the same thing as this. I just used the a instead of the h. It's the same thing as that. Okay? Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. So I could have just said h here. You understand it? After that, then I do what? I use the 2 to times inside. Ne? Yeah. So now let's write it here at the bottom. So I'll say f of x plus h, which is my number 2. I'm only looking at this one, but using 2. If I use 2 here, it's going to be 2x cubed. We good, ne? If I use the 2 there, it will be plus 6h. Yes, x squared. Am I right, ne? Plus, when I times by 2 there, it's 6h squared x. If I use the 2 there, it will be plus 2h to the 3. You got it, ne? 1, 2, 3. So this is equation number 2. 2 minus 1, yes. So f prime x is given by limit, and then h approaches 0. So I need to take my number 2. So I'm going to put my number 2 here. There it is over there. And then minus number 1. Isn't it right? Put it in bracket. Normally when it's 2 terms, all the signs will change. So I practice to put 2 brackets, 1 term or 2 term, it doesn't matter, all over the h, isn't it? Now we know what must happen. The yellow must completely cancel. So it's obvious, you can see it, correct? Because it's that one cancels with that one once we make it a negative. All right, so now we come this side. Now you see I showed you a way of doing the cube. Now you no longer have a problem with that. Now what's left now? We're having f prime x equals to limit, and then h approaches 0, and then I'm left with 6x x squared plus 6h squared x plus 2h to the 3. And we know what must happen now. I should be able to take out a common factor. Isn't it right? So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it here. All right, so let's take out h as a common factor. You're now having h, open bracket, it's 6x squared, and then plus 6hx plus 2h squared, close the bracket, and then we're dividing that by the h. Isn't it right? That cancels that. We good, ne? All right. Now, I'm still putting that limit because I haven't substituted the h as 0 yet. I'm only writing what remains, and then plus 2h squared. We good, ne? Then, when you do your answer, the red, don't show it, but you need it very. Write it using a pencil. And then plus 6, open the bracket, we put a 0 there, and then x, and then plus 2, you put a 0 there, squared. Actually, everywhere there's a 0, everything will disappear, and then you're just left with everything that is without the 0 here. You're just left with 6x squared. You're done again.